Hi paper lovers, it's Sarah, and today we're going to be making a Christmas card using the paper doll dress up cartridge. My mind went blank. The cardstock and pattern paper I'm using is from the DCWV Holiday Collection Christmas Stack. I can't remember if this came out last year or the year before, so I'm not sure if it's still available, but anyway, so let's get started. I have a bunch of envelopes that are this size, and what these are, when you get like a photo card made like for Christmas, or in my case it was when my son was born, I got baby announcements made and I had a lot of extras, so I have a lot of these envelopes and they fit a card that is 4 by 8, so that's the size card that I made. So I just took a piece of craft cardstock that was 8 by 8 and scored it in the middle at 4 to make kind of a long card. And what I'm going to do first is take my pattern paper and adhere this down. So this would be 3 7/8 by 7 7/8 to get an 1/8 of an inch shorter all around. So I'm going to stick this down to my card. Hold on, Noah. Okay. Then I have a piece of green cardstock that is 2 inches by 7 7/8. And what I've done is I took a piece of the red cardstock, which I believe was almost 2 inches by 7 7/8. And each side I just ran it through my Fisker's scalloped border punch. And the reason I did it like this, I'm going to cut it down the middle and make 2 borders, but I like to use a bigger piece and do it instead of cutting it first and doing my 2 borders, because it's harder for me to work with the smaller pieces of cardstock with the border punch. I hope that made sense, what I was trying to say. Instead of cutting it into 2 pieces first. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is run some adhesive down. Let me move this out of the way. And I'm just going to line up my border punch with my grid and just try to get it as close to lined up as I can. It's not a big deal if it's... And then I'll do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so I'm just going to trim off these extra pieces here. Okay, now we can go ahead and adhere this to our card base. Kind of up towards the top a little bit. There we go. Okay, now for the fun part. I want to show you in the handbook what I've done. I'm using the Santa clothes from page 72. And I'm not cutting out a paper doll, I'm just cutting out the clothes. So I cut out 2 of the jackets, I guess you would call it, at 4 inches. I cut 1 in red and 1 in white. I cut 2 of the pants at 4. The pants I actually cut at 5 inches because I wanted them a little bit bigger. I cut 1 in black and 1 in red. And then the hat I cut at 4 inches, and I cut 1 in red and 1 in white. And I will show you why I did that in just one second. Oh, I'm sorry, and I cut the belt at 4 inches. I cut the belt part in black and then the buckle in silver. Okay, so what I've done is, when on these paper doll cartridges, they don't have different layers to the clothes, so if you want different colors on your clothes, you have to paper piece. So the red layer of the jacket, in my gypsy, I hid all the tick marks because I don't like those little marks that it makes, but on the white layer, I left them so I could have a guide for cutting out my pieces that I wanted to add to the coat. So I'm going to show you how I did that. I already cut the sleeves out, but taking my cutter bee scissors here, and I hope you can see, maybe I'll stand up so I can see if you can see. I'm just going to follow the little tick marks that the expression already made for me. Okay, so there is the bottom part of our jacket. And then I also want this middle part, which is right there. I don't know if you can see it, but so I just have to cut these little, and it doesn't have to be perfect, you know, it's handmade. It's going to have little imperfections, right? Okay, so I just wanted to show you how I did that. So let me go ahead and finish putting these pieces together. And if you're doing this, you want to glue this middle part down first. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to attach the little belt. Okay, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating like a little, could be like a clothesline or a banner going across our card. So here's the little pants, and this is the reason why I cut it out in black and in red. When I just had it black, it looked very plain, so I needed to add something to the top of it. So I just took the red one and I just trimmed a little piece off the top and added it to my black, and then I added a little, I cut an extra buckle in silver just to give it a little something because it looked awfully plain. And then here's my hat, and like I said, I cut one in red and one in white, and then I just cut the white part out. So these are going to kind of lie down here on my card because they're going to be hanging from the twine. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere these down. Stick a little now my little Santa coat. Oops. Oh my goodness. ATG is acting funky. Looks about good. Okay. Now I'm going to take my maraschino twine. And you guys saw me do this on my Christmas stocking card. But I'm just going to use some Scotch quick dry adhesive, and I'm going to put a little dot right up here and right here. Okay, and then I'm going to put my one end of my twine there. And this, it does dry quickly, but when you're working with it with twine, it does take a little bit of patience. You don't want to move it right away. And I kind of want to like let this hang at the points where I'm going to adhere it, and then bring it up here into this dot. And I like to take my paper piercer and kind of just push down after it's been sitting there a while. Okay, and now I'm going to take and I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here at the tip of the hat and at the corners of my pants right here. And at the tips of my, oops, coat. Okay, and then I've got a little bit of extra right here, so I'm just going to trim that. I want it to hang a little bit off my card, but not too much. Okay, now I have 2 little bows that I've tied. Trim this a little bit. And I'm just going to put a dab of glue on the back of the bow. And put that right up there in the corner. Okay, here's my other bow. Put that up here at the corner. Hold that for a little bit. Now I'm using a sentiment from the Scrappy Mom set Winter Wishes. And it says, I believe. I thought that was really cute with the whole Santa theme. I've embossed it with some white embossing powder onto some red cardstock, and then I just trimmed it and then I notched it out to make it look like a banner. I don't know if you can see in the video, but I do have some speckled white embossing powder on here, and that's because I didn't remove the static before I embossed, and you can either use a dryer sheet or they make a embossing buddy that you can rub on there and remove the static. I was too lazy to go downstairs to get a dryer sheet. So that's how it came out. You know, I'm fine with it because it kind of looks like a speckly snow. I think I'm just making up an excuse, but I'm fine with it. So there's lots of videos on YouTube on how to emboss, and in case you don't know how. I'm not a very good embosser, as you can see. Okay, so that's going to go right in the center there. And then just to finish it off, I have some of these like iridescent rhinestones from Recollections that I'm just going to stick on either side of my sentiment. Whoops. And that's it. I was thinking about maybe adding some stickles to the white parts, but I don't know. We'll see. But that's it. I love this card. I think it turned out super cute. I love the little Santa Claus. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching and have a blessed day.